Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Business, and watch this shot here. Pay attention to the bridge on the ship, alright? You'll see a secondary shell, boop, right there. Give me the close quarters expert. Yeah, finally. But the problem is it's easy as shit to get. So that's, while I'm happy I have it, finally, it's kind of interesting. The patch 5.3, they adjusted the metal for close quarters expert, where you don't have to do any particular level of damage. You just have to kill with the secondary. So it could be one damage, it could be all the damage, it doesn't matter. So long as the killing blow comes from the secondaries, you'll gain close quarters expert. So I fully expect that myself and everybody else are going to start getting them in droves, especially, you know, with the more aggressive battleship players, and also because of the fact that the new captain skill changes really give you a great chance to do that. So I'm going to dump my shots into this Mogami here on hotspot, and there is a second replay that is also on hotspot with the Amagi as well. Surprisingly different results overall in terms of, you know, the actual gameplay, especially towards the end of the second match. But what I basically did with this ship, and what I wanted to test out with this, was to remove the accuracy module from the second slot and throw on the secondary module. So I do send another salvo out, but he comes to a stop, and I think that would have killed him right there, but oh well. So my secondaries reach out to 6.4 kilometers now, and I have the 5-point captain skill to give me the manual control over him, which is something I do anyway. So, you know, it's the same thing as targeting the aircraft. So you just hold control, select the ship, boom, there you go. You're going to fire at him. But the thing is, you will not fire those secondaries unless you manually target them. So that's something for those players out there. By the way, what a hell of a bend around that island. That was awesome. Using the length of the ship to be able to get those shells across, because from my perspective, it looked like they would all hit. You know, from the artillery zoom, it would look like that they would all go into the island. But, you know, I obviously just some spatial awareness there as far as the length of the ship and the position of the turrets. But still, I mean, some luck, but I was also happy with that. I tried to aim for the Ibuki on this, and in the replay you can't really see it, but I'm also hitting X to try to select the Ibuki so you know which one I'm actually targeting. It's a pain in the ass sometimes with replays. They don't really behave so well. It's a little bit easier in the actual game. But anyways, I have 6.4 kilometer range, and I have some buffs as far as the rate of fire is concerned. I have the like basically everything geared towards secondary improvement. So I have basic fire and training, advanced fire and training, the 5-point secondary skill, and the second slot module upgrade, and it seems like it's pretty damn good to me. And, you know, I've seen some videos of Azumos and Yamatos especially just wrecking shit. I mean, the good thing about having secondaries that reach out this far, because it is a double-edged sword. I mean, these are modules and upgrades and skill points that could be applied to other facets of your ship and your captain to be able to, you know, make your overall basically make it a different ship. I mean, really, if you're going with a secondary build, that's a pretty specific way of playing. You know, you're going to be eventually going to be within range of certain ships and like close quarters and things like that. When you're looking at a Yamato hitting out to, you know, 10.5 kilometers with its secondaries, and same with the Izumo when it's fully upgraded, that's actually some pretty scary stuff. And, you know, all the fires that those things can start while you're being pummeled by AP through the front of your ship, you know, that's pretty gnarly damage. I mean, that can add up very quickly. And you know, it actually is really interesting because of the fact that as I dump a salvo into an Iowa that's showing me his side, and just not enough of it. 20,000 damage though on 7 hits, so that's really good. I was surprised it didn't get a Citadel, but honestly, I'm happy with 20,000 damage. I'll be happier with what happens next. But and also, actually, this will be your first time getting to see the secondaries. Right when I fire, you're going to see all of my secondaries just unload into this guy. So watch how beautiful this is. Look at that. Those are all the secondaries. They're just all over the place. I mean, not all over the place like normal, but, you know, they're actually going to hit the ship. There's a Sims up here, and I'm just going to spoil it for you. I do start laying into him with the secondaries. Unfortunately, yeah, there's some complications from teammates that prevent me from getting the close quarters expert. But, you know, this is... Finally, we have some changes and things to the game that spice it up and make it interesting. And you know, do you want to really go toe to toe with a high tier Japanese battleship that's fully loaded for secondary combat? Hell no. I mean, no, I don't want to do that. I mean, regardless of whatever ship, because I've had battleship brawls that have been decided because of secondary damage, you know, from fires especially. I mean, that is the hidden gem of it. And the thing is, though, you also have to understand that you're going to have a lot of your secondaries knocked out by AG. So you're playing a pretty dangerous game there, and, you know, one way or another. And in the game here, I am looking for the Pensacola that's in the smoke and letting my secondaries do the work here, but I finally give in and say, yeah, that he's way too close. I only get 2 hits, both of them being overpens, and I know I was going to finish him off there, but I'm glad he died, because he was definitely going to get his torps off and make my life pretty miserable if he didn't die right then. So I did have a few matches this day as well that with the... Actually, I think it was the Amagi. I think it was on North, actually. I had back-to-back-to-back salvos on 3 different cruisers that were 15,000 damage or more. I was like, okay, where the hell is this type of nonsense been for a while? And maybe it's just people playing differently. Maybe it's because I removed the module for the accuracy. Maybe RNG got reset. I don't know, but God, it feels a lot better to play this game right now for me, for battleships. But I still seriously favor a ship like the Farragut, which, God, I've got to get through playing a little bit more of the tier 2 to 4 USN destroyers, get that review up, square away the Nicholas review so I can show you the Farragut review, because there's a lot of fun stuff about that ship. And they just made a change that gave it some a little bit more capability too with this patch. And I told you this was a pretty big patch, you know, it's pretty wide sweeping. Basically, in the previous patch, the Farragut had a torp upgrade, right? That would boost it from 5.5 to 6.4 kilometers, and also from 56 knots to 64 knots, I think. So the only way you could get that, though, is if you move to the B hull, which increased the AA, and it removed one of your turrets. So that's no longer the case. The B hull keeps your 5 turrets, and you can now access the torpedo upgrade. So yay, it's a little bit more viable now, and that's why you're going to see a lot more of the Farraguts. And then you know, the C hull is the full-on AA version of the Farragut, and you have let's see, you have 4 turrets, and you obviously have access to the 6.4 kilometer torps. So it's back to myself, Chipster, and Kami, and we're obviously on the opposite side of where we were before, and we all dumped our salvos into that Tirpitz there, but unfortunately he came to a stop before, you know, he could run into him, which, God, that would have been glorious to see all that damage. But I did get 7 hits on him as he came to a stop there. Managed to get those shots right over the island. I think it ended up being like 11 or 13,000 damage, so not bad. Now, there will be an unfortunate, but in all reality, pretty damn funny moment that happens here in just about 30 seconds or so. Chipster actually crashes to desktop, and it's right when he's just north of the B cap. He's fully exposed and everything. a teammate in the Nuremberg runs into him, and I don't really pay attention to it too much because there's a lot of stuff happening at that point, but the Nuremberg takes torps for him, and Chipster does take damage as well, of course, but he loads back in, and this Nuremberg is on him and basically bodyguards him with torps from torps, and it wasn't intentional, so that's even more funny to me. But yeah, so you may just see that unfold here in a moment. There is a Cleveland and a Tirpitz here. The Tirpitz is more important in my prioritization here, so the Cleveland is more likely to be able to make mistakes that are going to get him killed a lot more easily than the situation showing the Tirpitz here. So I like, as far as the Tirpitz showing his broadside, so that's why I select him. I did about 13,000. Kami just dumped a salvo into him for 16,000. So in just a few seconds, boom, he's knocked out for 30k. That's pretty damn good when you're talking about a battleship that has 66k health. So again, it's just something that is always worthwhile to have, you know, communication. And of course we're using TeamSpeak at this point, and you know, OverPowered Gaming, the TeamSpeak channel, which I've mentioned it before, but you know, I'll put it in the description again. We would have done that if we didn't use TeamSpeak. He and I tend to know which targets to shoot. The way we prioritize targets is very, very similar, but TeamSpeak does make it easier, I'm not gonna lie. And there is a Tirpitz coming in through the center here, so that is now my priority, because again, gotta try to get the damage you can against ships that have a huge presence, and the Tirpitz is definitely one of those types of ships. So only did about 8,000 damage to him though, so not what I wanted, but Kami probably nailed him for at least 20k there, so hell of a salvo. Not bad at all, and he's gonna get hit by this torp, and I'm gonna switch away from him as he's burning, and you know, he's burned out, he's gone. So I don't need to waste a salvo on him. I could switch over to somebody else that's, you know, more of a threat, of course. Actually, there's quite a lot going on here at this point. There's a Nuremberg that's trying to run over to A for whatever reason. I'm going to get my rear turrets facing him, dump a shot out, and get my front turrets towards the Kutuzov and get my shots out. There we go. Take a look back. I had 3 overpens, and we got a Citadel. Okay, that's not bad. The Kutuzov definitely seems to be a little bit more annoying than normal with the patch 5.3 upgrades that it's received, where it basically gets a free skill because it still has the same range it did when AFT gave that type of benefit. So there were a couple other buffs to it as well, and I mean, maybe it needed them, maybe it didn't, I don't know. I haven't played the ship. Send a full salvo off to the Nuremberg that's still heading towards A for some reason, and showing me his broadside. And I've been trying to give cruisers especially a little bit more lead. I've been very consciously working on correcting my accuracy, and I think that's starting to pay off a little bit, but again, you know, it could just be RNG, I don't know. We have Dayax over here harassing our guys, and we're pretty much in a trap here, because the other ship that's over here that Kami keeps calling out is the Fubuki, and I'm not paying the slightest bit of attention to that at all, and that's gonna be a bit of a problem here in a moment. So again, the Nuremberg, he's in A, and he's gonna actually start turning back south, and I don't know what the hell he's thinking of doing. You know, whatever. Anyways, we have a Cleveland down here. Not interested in shooting at him. I want to see if I can hit this Nagato who has full health. Send the salvo out towards him, and I'm going to start turning in towards B here as these shells land at the Nagato and do about 14,000. Very close. And I was hoping to, you know, just knock that guy right out, but, you know, my luck. Of course, he starts turning in and mitigates some damage, but that would have been a hell of a salvo otherwise. So yeah, there's a lot of torpedoes right there, and I'm not really paying nearly enough of attention as I should to those torpedoes. I send off a rippled salvo to Dax and see if I can hopefully catch him, but I only get one hit there for an overpen, of course. So, shit. Yep, here we go. Alright, time to select the target, and even though you can't see it in the replay, I did select the Fubuki as my target, and I'm totally expecting these torps to just pretty much kill me. So I triggered my heal there, tried to get some of my health back before the torpedoes come in, and I think that may have actually helped me survive this, but I turned right into him and killed him with close quarters expert. Yeah, take that. And that damn Nuremberg is still alive over here. I don't know why he's going so slow. I think he may have misjudged his turning radius and doesn't have much to misjudge anymore because he's dead. Yes. Alright, now I've got a very, very low health Cleveland in front of me. I'm turning to get more of my secondaries on target. Boom, double strike and close quarters expert. Oh man, I can't wait to get more of these. I need them so bad to catch up to where I should have been with this. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys a couple fun matches I had with finally some close quarters experts and you know, that type of stuff. Show off a little bit of the new skill for the secondary stuff, because honestly this is one of the very few captains I have that can even get that. I have almost no other captain that has a 5-point skill. So as far as the stream is concerned, I will be doing the Division Friday during the day, Saturday during the day, and on Sunday we'll do the Warships giveaway stream, and that'll be maybe about 3-4 hours, and then we'll finish it off with the Division as well, assuming I even like the game. So we'll kind of see how that goes. Kami's going to be doing pretty much the same thing as well, and his giveaway stream will be Wednesday, and he'll be doing that for 12 hours, so feel free to tune in then as well. But feel free to leave some feedback, and you know, I hope the patch is treating you well, but you know, whether it is or isn't, give me some feedback. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section, and of course the next time I'm streaming as well. But thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.